Today on Mina Studio, I take a look at the new Kali LP6. Welcome to Mina Studio. My name is Nathan. With me as always is my tech director Ronald, back there running the sound. This is part 2 of my studio monitor upgrade video series, I guess it is. Last time I looked at the KRK Classic 5 studio monitors. Today I'm going to take a look at the Kali LP6 studio monitor. It's white. I know, isn't that cool? It comes in black. I just wanted to get white. I don't know why. So this is the Kali Audio LP6 6.5 inch studio monitor. If you're thinking, I've never heard of Kali Audio, you're probably not alone. Kali Audio is a fairly new company that was started by some ex-JBL employees to kind of give them freedom to make studio monitors. At least that's what the internets tell me. So these speakers come in at $149 a piece, which is kind of the standard base level, it seems, for most manufacturers' entry-level studio monitors. Big difference of these from other studio monitors in that price is these are 6.5 inch studio monitors, and almost all of the others in that $149 price bracket are 5 inch studio monitors. That's the size of the woofer cone here. And I will say these are big. Yeah, they're big. If you have a small desk, these might not be the best option for you. You can see next to my M Audios and the KRKs, they're pretty beefy. They're pretty big. Like every studio monitor in the world, well, most. You have your woofer. This one's 6.5 inches as opposed to 5, which are most of them in this price range. You have your tweeter, which they have this deeper waveguide on the top, which is advertised to help your stereo feel a little better, and I think it might actually work, to be honest with you. And then you have your front bass port. You can have front bass ports or back bass ports. That's where you see the hole in the back of the speaker. These are front bass ports, and I personally like the front bass ports because my monitors are close to a wall behind them. And if you have a back bass port, then the bass bounces off the wall and you get a wrong idea of what your bass is really doing. So I really like these bass ports. And theoretically, again, as they say on their website, these are specially designed bass ports so you don't get any of that woof that you can sometimes get from bass ports. And I personally have not heard any woof or puff, or I don't know the technical term. It's when you hear the air, the actual air, like that. You got that? You know what I'm talking about? If you look at the back of the speaker, you'll notice, especially on the white version that I have, it kind of looks like an IKEA instruction booklet. So not the prettiest back of a speaker I've ever seen, but maybe the most useful back of a speaker I've ever seen. So you can see it has all these pictures of different placements of your speakers next to walls and on desks and etc. And then it tells you which of these switches down here at the bottom to put up and down. These switches are kind of a boundary EQ, which is just a internal equalization in the speaker that changes depending on where you place the speaker. Because things like walls next to the speakers or sitting directly on desks or not directly on desks will affect the frequency response and range of these speakers and what they sound like. You have 3 input options, 2 balanced and 1 unbalanced. Pretty standard these days. You have the TRS and the XLR for balanced, and you have the RCA for unbalanced. And just real quick, if you don't know what a studio monitor is for, these are speakers built to be as neutral as possible so that you can hear exactly what your mixes sound like without any coloration, and so that you can mix better and get your sound sounding better. So what's the verdict? Do I like them? What do I think? Oh man. I love these speakers. Compared to my old Studiophile BX5s, the M Audios, no comparison at all. Now, disclaimer, my M Audios are like 10 years old and they were used when I bought them and they're kind of falling apart. And I don't think all the amps work all the way anymore. So they're not at peak performance, but still this thing blew them away. And I can tell you, I already can hear that my mixes sound much better. I took my mixes for my Christmas album, I put them on a CD, threw them in my car speakers, which I usually hate how my mixes sound on, and these sounded way better on my car speakers, which are terrible speakers. And that's what studio monitors can do for you. They can help get your mix sounding better on all speakers. That's the point of them being neutral. So would I recommend these Calis? 100% I would recommend these. Some people, I will say, have said there's a hum on them. I have not really experienced that very much. I don't hear much of a hum on them. For $150, I think it will be very hard to beat these monitors, to be honest with you. And if you have $300 to spend on studio monitors, which is again kind of the entry level for a pair of good studio monitors, I would highly, highly, highly recommend the Cali LP6s. Downside is they are huge. They're very big speakers. So if you have a smaller desk, these just may not work for you. And as you saw in part one, the KRKs are really good 5-inch speakers and quite a bit smaller. So that would be a good option if you just don't have room for these. Stick around for part 3, where I do a comparison of several studio monitors, the Calis, the KRKs, my Oldham Audios, those Polk satellites I talked about. I'm gonna do a comparison of those. Again, not so that you'll know exactly what the speakers sound like, because you won't, because you're listening through your speakers, but you will be able to tell the difference of different studio monitors. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and stick around for part 3, and I will see you back here soon. I feel like I'm embracing this studio monitor. Oh well.